Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Lydia, and today I want to show you how to make baked pumpkin cinnamon sugar donuts. That's a mouthful to say. If you're new here, welcome, welcome. Please consider subscribing, and without further ado, let me show you how to make this recipe. First thing we're going to do is I'm actually going to give you a little lesson on how to measure dry ingredients. So with dry ingredients, you don't want them to be over the measuring cup or under the measuring cup. You want them to be exactly even, and you can do this by using a knife. And I just use a knife and I level it out that way, and then I add it to my bowl or my cup or whatever I'm using. So add in your flour, your baking powder, your pumpkin spice. I just have this jar of pumpkin spice that I make instead of buying it, and I added that to my large bowl, and my salt. I use the whisk and I whisk. I don't even know if I said that right, but anyways, I whisked everything until it was combined. And then to a small bowl, I added my pumpkin puree, my milk, and then my one egg. I always like to crack my eggs separately just so I don't get any shell in my final product. And then I add that to my wet ingredients, my brown sugar, of course, that was packed into my measuring cup, and then my butter. So make sure you melt your butter. Don't be like me. I just left it at room temperature. And then of course, mix until everything is combined. Since my butter wasn't melted, it didn't get completely combined. Not to worry, I added it to my dry ingredients, and I made sure that that butter got combined and there wasn't any chunks of butter, because that wouldn't be good. So your batter should be slightly thick and sticky, kind of like this. It should smell really good, you know, like fall. So now this is an option that you guys can do, is you can add your batter to a large Ziploc bag. I recommend this step just because it's easier to pipe into your donut baking dish, and I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. But you can use your spoon if you don't want to do this step. It's up to you. So just add every last drop of batter, snip off the little tip. This is what the donut baking sheet looks like. I'll link it down below if you guys are interested. And then spray it with some nonstick cooking spray. After you do that, you want to add in your batter, and I'm just piping it in just like this. It doesn't have to be perfect. Remember, these are going to be like the bottom, so the top is actually going to flip on to the bottom. And then I went ahead and added the rest of my batter just so I don't waste any, because I don't like wasting. And using a wet finger, I went ahead and just made it nice and smooth, or as smooth as I could make it, just because, you know, it is the bottom. You just don't want it to cover that little knob in the center. So once it's nice and smooth, you want to tap it on your countertop ever so lightly, give it a little spin, and then preheat it. No, I'm sorry. Then you want to bake it in your oven that has been preheated. Look at me, I'm all over the place. So once they are baking, you can melt the rest of your butter, add some sugar to another bowl and some cinnamon. Mix until everything is combined. I'm using a half moon whisk. I love this thing. So once everything is combined, hopefully your donuts should almost be ready. Take them out of the oven, allow them to cool slightly in the baking pan. Once they're cool enough to handle, you want to invert them on a cooling rack. Use a kitchen towel if you need to, just so you don't get burned. And look at that, your donuts should be perfectly beautiful. Dip them in the melted butter and then add them to the cinnamon sugar, and like that, you're done. So a little confession, I've been craving donuts this entire pregnancy. Even before I knew I was pregnant, when I was pregnant, I was craving donuts, which was bizarre to me because I hardly ever eat donuts. And then also, that butter is not unsalted. So if you guys want good butter, let me tell you guys, Kerrygold salted butter is delicious. Kerrygold butter is delicious. Anything Kerrygold is super good. So it's half salted, half unsalted. I really like the way the flavor came out. It's delicious. It's a little bit salty and sweet, just perfect for fall. And then make sure your donuts are completely covered and submersed in that sugar. You don't want any naked parts, because listen, the stuff is good. I know we're only making 6 donuts. If it's not enough for you, maybe double the recipe. Just remember, they're best the first day that they're made. Now, these donuts definitely look simple. They don't look anything fancy like Krispy Kremes, which I've had Krispy Kreme donuts, you know, like their pumpkin line. And to be honest with you, I'm sorry, Krispy Kreme, I love you, but your pumpkin line just wasn't doing it for me. I like the hot donuts, but their pumpkin line, no thank you. Definitely try these. You will not miss your traditional fried donuts. These are so delicious. Now they look basic. They don't look like anything fancy, but I promise you, once you guys put these in your mouth, you will definitely understand why they are so good. So they have this really beautiful orange color in the center, and they're so soft and fluffy. They're warm with that pumpkin-y flavor. They taste like fall. Make sure you guys check out my recipe. It's down below. I have left links for you guys if you guys need them to check other stuff out, like the donut pan. And make sure you guys give this video a like. Make sure you're subscribed. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching this video. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. See ya.